And President Biden says he is not confident there will be a peaceful transfer of power if Donald Trump loses in November. He made those remarks in an exclusive interview with CBS News chief election and campaign correspondent Robert Costa, Biden's first interview since exiting the race.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all. I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all. He means what he says. We don't take him seriously. He means it. All the stuff about if we lose, there'll be a bloodbath. It's have to be a stolen election. Look what they're trying to do now in the local election districts where people count the votes. They're putting people in place in states that they're going to count the votes, right? You can't love your country only when you win.
Robert Costa joins us now for more on this interview with the president. Robert, first of all, I mean, everybody has been paying attention to Biden for a very long time. He steps out and he kind of stepped away from the limelight in a way. What was your perception of him? How is he doing? How did he sound to you? And what was your reaction to his response?
It's good to be with you for our conversation for CBS Sunday Morning, which will air this Sunday. We talked about a lot of topics, but my biggest takeaway is that he's highly alarmed about the state of this country, about the prospect of former President Donald Trump winning the presidency in November or losing it and refusing to concede. Let's not forget that former President Trump has still not conceded. He lost the 2020 election to President Biden. And so you have the incumbent president. Yes, he has decided to exit the race. He has been out of the limelight for the last few weeks since he made that decision in late July. But he is in no way exiting the political scene or somehow just kind of having a lighthearted end to his presidency. He underscored a stark message about where he sees this country. And we had this conversation in the White House residence, a place where he has never done an interview before.
Robert, for a long time, we kept wondering what went into that decision. Did you talk about what went into it? At what point he finally said, you know, this has to happen. I can't be the candidate. And what else did you discuss?
We talked about the politics of that decision, but what was really notable, and I think people will find it notable for history if they watch it on Sunday, that we talked about his family and about how this president is so linked to his family, like we all are, of course. But for President Biden, he uses that phrase a lot, my word as a Biden. I give you my word as a Biden. He is someone whose family experience has been full of tragedy, going back to late 1972 when his wife and daughter were killed in a car accident. And you see in him someone who has always had his family front of mind again this summer as he made that decision to leave the presidential race. And so we talked about the presidency as someone who has been a witness to power, a witness to the presidency for 50+ years, and also as a Biden. What was it like for him as a husband, a father, and a grandfather as he thought through that important moment?
Robert, thank you so much. Eager to watch the interview.
Thank you.
You can see the rest of Bob's interview with President Biden this weekend on Sunday Morning.